I guess Arp can do the intro.
Well, you started talking right at the beginning, but it's fine. I'll edit it out.
No, you leave it
We can
in.
fix it in post. We can fix it in post.
You leave
Welcome
it in.
back,
This
class. I'm Matt, your guide here on Y Caliber. We're playing Star Wars Force and Destiny with our GM, this time, Smug.
Hey, we're fucked.
Tonight we're joined by Steve, playing Wyatt. Mike is playing Rail. D. Davis is playing Muckraw. Muckraw. And Jared is playing Lan. I'm playing Bosmo. And this is Force and Destiny. I'm going to turn it over to Smug.
So wait. I thought your name was Y Caliber. You're like, it's Matt, your guide here on Y Caliber. Is Y Caliber a place?
Yes.
He's literally been selling this for years now.
I've never
I always
literally
pay
attention.
Literally years.
I've always been a player. I don't.
Oh man,
I
you're
don't think
actually
about-
awake this time.
So
really
are you
not.
saying that when you've been a player, you haven't really been paying attention to what's going on around you?
Like, I get up and I wander away for minutes on end.
He's going to do that while he's GMing too.
So that's why he was always asking about his stone sense then. He just forgot whenever he got up.
That's right. I come back. Hey, is it time for Stone Sense yet?
You know, one day we're going to play like Dungeons and Dragons, and you're going to play a dwarf, and you'll completely forget about your stone sense, and it'll get the whole party killed.
That's going to be a glorious moment, to be fair.
You know, if you'd use your stone sense...
You would have sensed the 500-foot rock golems.
You would have
That'll
known that that
always
was
be a dream.
a bottomless pit. Just now dumped you and all your friends into the abyss.
If
Everyone
only.
dies.
Now, what we're going to be playing anyway, it's Episode 1, Mountaintop Rescue. This is a book that is for sale, I believe. Feel free to go and buy it and support Fantasy Flight
games.
Yeah, I knew that. I've definitely purchased some of their materials.
Obviously.
And it should be noted that it's the beginner game kit.
Yes, the beginner game kit that comes with Mountaintop Rescue.
Yes.
So if you want to be a real asshole, you could go find this, or buy it, I should say, and then read up on what's going to happen, but we're not going to do that.
Well, I'm not going to read up on it.
We're going to
Well,
go
you shouldn't.
decidedly off script in the first session, I'm sure.
McCruff suddenly is there on the spaceship reading a copy of Episode 1 Mountaintop Rescue.
Oh, we're going full Spaceballs here.
Love
Okay.
it. Fourth wall gone already. That's awesome.
I just kind of heard
But,
some low rumbling.
It should be all right. So this is what we're going to do, right? So we're going to do this. You guys have lovingly created characters that are going to go on this mountaintop rescue. So shortly, we'll go around and you can all introduce yourselves, give us a bit of backstory, and we'll try to set up some of the connections between you guys. Now, the overall premise is that you're going to be going on a mountaintop rescue.
Really?
It is a shocker, I know. If you read the crawl, you know that the crawl that the YouTube video probably won't have. I'm sure Arp will just painstakingly make his own out of clay.
Maybe. I'm a father now.
Oh, that's right. He's got no time for that. Just have your kid make it for you.
That's
It'll
true.
be adorable.
He is capable of grabbing things now, so that's all you need to edit videos these days.
Dang, there you
Shots
go.
fired.
Before you know it, into the salt mines. But yeah, you're going to be going on a mountaintop rescue to rescue a Jedi scholar. Now, not really a Jedi herself, but she has a lot of knowledge. She spent an awful lot of time compiling information, and she's been getting in contact with people that have, as it turns out, happen to have a little bit of an affinity for the Force. And they, in turn, have been starting to study her texts, her holocrons, her various doodads of information in order to find a better sense of self. Now, not everyone, of course, is a Force user in this party. About half of you are.
Over half, but
And yeah. Well, maybe half if Farrell ends up joining us. We'll see. But
then we'd be tipping the scales because he wanted to play Force Bands too.
oh, that's right. 3 of you already are. Shit. All right, so non-Force users are the minority.
What the hell is the Force?
Don't worry. McGruff will also learn the Force and then levitate dog bones into his mouth.
Delightful.
Now, what? Oh, geez. HG just called out the Jew bug, by the way. You'll have to edit that in post. Anyway, now the idea is that you guys are going to be aiding the rebels. I know some of you may have had your heart set on being bad guys, but no, you're going to be aiding the rebels. The scholar had some affiliations to the rebels as well, obviously, since she sure does love the Jedi. And you've been strongly cautioned by Princess Leia, of all people, to not pursue her. They can't risk losing what little Force-sensitive individuals they have left. However, you've decided, screw that, we want our senpai back, and in turn, you're going to be off on an adventure to get her back.
Okay.
So I've taken some liberties, which feel free to change whatever you guys want to.
I don't know what a senpai is. I mean,
Yeah,
doesn't
that's
sound
a
like
weird
a Star
thing to
Wars
say.
word.
Yeah.
Well, she's definitely not a Jedi, so she can't be your master.
I don't know. Do you have to be
Our tutor?
Tutor?
Tutor.
Maybe.
Mentor?
You guys are just hot for teacher.
Tutor. TUDOR. There we go.
The tutor.
There we go.
Should probably watch that, but that's another story.
I still feel I don't know, you say, we're not going to be bad guys, but I kind of feel like looking at his icon and knowing who's playing the character, that Roll Cage or whatever is going to end up being a bad guy.
Roll
The
cage.
funny part's he's playing a lawman.
How should we
Roll
pronounce
cage.
that, Cumberbatch? Is it Roll Cage?
It's roll cage.
Apparently, that's what it is now. I know not to fight against the zeitgeist of our games.
I
I
was just
really
being
feel
glib.
like we should have used the original picture.
Yeah, I am now Roll Cage, and D. Davis is McGruff.
What? Sorry. What was your intended name?
Rail?
Rail.
I can't
It's
remember
Rail.
if I
It's
came
pretty
up
clearly Rail. I was just being a dick.
Yeah. I can't
Rail
remember if
Cage.
I can't remember if I or Smug added Cage, but whatever. I'll
You
keep
did. It's on your sheet.
Okay, Rail Cage. Okay, I guess I was just in a fugue that day.
I guess so. Or you wanted me to do a picture of Nicolas Cage, which we're halfway there.
Oh my god.
I do a face morph of real of Cumberbatch and Nicolas Cage.
He probably
you
look
really wanted to
exactly
be
like
Luke Cage?
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Can take their
Well-
faces right off.
So if you guys Google image search for Nicolas Cage Jedi, yeah, I think it's no contest. Especially the second image.
Is this an actual picture or somebody
Yes.
drawn it?
Oh god.
Well, one's an actual. Both are actual.
Oh no. The third one, I think, is what you should have gone with.
I really should have.
Probably
Why do
shouldn't
people
do
do
this
this?
during a stream, but let me do it.
Oh, your viewers will
This
love
is
it.
pretty good.
Wow.
Really?
Someone just goes around shopping his face onto other people.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, the ET
I'm
He's
never
like
going to
true
get that
face
Yoda Cage face out of my mind.
Oh boy.
Well, that was a good detour.
Oh my god, there's a huge mural of like just Nicholas. Hold on a second.
I hope that isn't D. Davis lowering his pants.
Nothing he loves better than a mural.
No doubt. So yeah, that's the basic premise on what we're going to start with. Now, for reasons, Rail Cage is not actually with you guys.
He's betraying us right now.
Yeah, exactly. He's already.
He's getting an early start on it.
That's right. The very first scene is going to be a cutscene with him and Darth Vader. I'm gonna do a really cool high five at the end.
I think
Meanwhile,
you
I'm
mean
going to put on this mask and wield my crossguard lightsaber.
He's got a high five with Starkiller. Or one of the Inquisitors.
You know,
Brother Five.
I was nearly going to put Starkiller into this. I was really thinking about it. Not the planet.
It's like Clone
It's
the
not
planet,
canon
that'd be
anymore.
weird. That's right. Legends. He's legendary.
Well,
And
our
They've
game will clearly
excised that
be
game from
only
canon.
only be canon.
That game is pretty fun, though.
We'll be the
But
canonist.
it's another story. So Railcade is Railcade is.
It's caught on.
It's done. Sorry, Mike.
Ah!
All right,
The
so
line,
Railcade isn't
the
with you
line
guys
has been
here.
crossed.
So Rail isn't with you guys, but
Mhm.
4 of you are together.
Okay.
So we'll probably start from left to right. We'll start with Bosmo since it is his YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
And Caliber, if you could tell us a bit about Bosmo, and then I guess we'll move down the line, and then we can figure out how all of you guys are related
All right.
By blood, naturally.
by blood. Yeah,
Oh, clearly.
the
Yeah,
brood mother.
we're all especially related to Bosmo. All right, so Bosmo's a Toydarian. He's a dumpy fly person from space. He is in his mid-30s, and he managed to survive Order 66. He was a youngling at the time, and the master who was training them managed to get some of them to safety. He was one of those. So he doesn't know much about being a Jedi, but he wants to, and he's hoping to restore the Jedi Order with his little tiny lightsaber and his dumpy fly person wings. He has the best of intentions.
Is he going to offer me a newspaper?
No.
Damn.
All right, well, that's cool. It'll be very interesting to see if Bosmo is able to succeed in his goal of becoming
Yeah.
a Jedi.
Like, who's this Luke Skywalker kid? Who cares? Bosmo's going to restore the Jedi Code.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
believe it.
Bosmo defeating Darth Vader and the Emperor.
I'd watch it.
Yeah, I'd watch it too. All right, so we'll come back to Bosmo. So Wyatt Guthrie, is that how you say
Guthrie.
your name?
Wyatt Guthrie. Guthrie.
Guthrie.
2-3?
No, it's clearly Guthrie.
It's Guthrie.
All right, tell us about yourself.
All right. Well, Wyatt is originally from Nar Shaddaa. His parents were doctors who worked within the poor. Well, everywhere pretty much was poor on Nar Shaddaa, but they were doctors who sort of specialized in taking care of people who didn't have a lot of money. And they really hoped that Wyatt would follow in their footsteps. Unfortunately, Nar Shaddaa is a shitty place, so Wyatt did not do that at all. He instead fell in with gangs. And due to circumstances, his parents were killed at some point, and ever since then, he sort of felt uncertain of his life because he's, not a hard criminal, but he's pretty in with criminality. And moreover, he actually has a belief that criminality is a thing that does and should exist in some form. There is some limits to that, but in general, he's for it. But at the same time, he kind of wonders maybe he should have, paid more attention at the whole doctor shindig. So nowadays, he doesn't really have a lot of self-worth because of his past. And he basically floats through life taking big risks to try and hopefully they pay off for him so that he can win something and maybe fill the hole in his soul.
Wow, that's pretty deep.
So he's pro-criminal.
Yes.
All right, just checking.
If you asked him, he probably would be no spice, no slaves, no killing.
To be fair, we're criminals
And
by
no Russian.
definition.
You are. Yeah, all of you are.
Yeah.
That's right. So, how did Wyatt fall in with the rebels if he's really working for them?
He is really working for the rebellion because, well, it by definition, as Jared pointed out, it's a criminal organization, and of course they have desperate need of smugglers and people that can run guns for them or run supplies or whatever. And he just so happened to win a ship in a gambling bet. So
High stakes.
Yeah,
A
I mean, he
gambling
also
bet.
yes, a gambling bet.
What did he
Yes.
have up as collateral?
Probably one of his really, really nice guns.
Is it the Millennium Falcon?
No.
Yes. No.
It's the
It's actually-
bicentennial bantha.
Yeah, Ash's idea was for it to be called the Decade Turtle.
Maybe it will. At the moment, it's called the Leatherback, but I was not feeling inspired for that
Well,
name.
that's a turtle.
It is. So yeah, who knows? I just keep his fortunes kind of vague because they vary between one moment and the next.
Indeed, they do. And where will they lead from here on out? We'll certainly find out together. And of course, we'll come back to Wyatt as well. So, McRaw. How is it really McGruff? The crime dog?
It is indeed pronounced
McGruff?
Yes.
All right, McGruff. Tell us about yourself.
Well, he's a computer nerd, and he's actually got some notoriety as a heroic computer nerd who totally stole some plans for interdictor-class Star Destroyers and really helped the rebels out.
Damn, he is
Dang.
the Edward Snowden of our times.
Unfortunately, that means life is kind of piss for him because the Empire's in charge. So he's kind of fallen on hard times and has fallen in with a criminal scum type lot who just
I'm
happen
not that
to need...
bad.
Well, debatable. They just happen to need computer nerds.
Interesting. So he really had no choice but to go in and start helping the rebels out after that.
Yeah.
And he was to begin with, it sounds like.
Well, I mean, he likes to get paid, and the rebels pay, but not well. Criminals pay better.
Yeah, what are they paying with these days?
Oh boy, probably Republic credits,
Bones.
Yeah.
dog bones,
Rawhide.
no,
Bone chips.
Interesting.
like ball.
So they're paying him in balls. I love it.
It has
Regular
peanut butter in there.
walkies.
You know,
All right,
when
that sounds interesting.
when McGruff gets his arm cut off or his hand cut off and replaced with a cybernetic one, he's going to end up with a big cone.
Oh.
It's like Mr. Peanut Butter in BoJack Horseman. Can you tell I'm wearing a cone?
Interesting. Well, that should be very, very interesting. And again, we'll come back to talk about how McRuff and Wyatt got together shortly. So we come down to Jared playing Lan.
Yeah, so Lan is a pilot in the Rebel Alliance. Like a lot of people in the galaxy, he's been, had his what would otherwise been a peaceful life torn apart by the Empire because the Empire are dicks. And since becoming a pilot with the rebels, he sort of came to understand in a very vague way that he was connected to the Force, because the rebels are sort of about that, while the rest of the galaxy is kind of like, the Force, what the hell's that? Meh. Now, it had been my original intention, I know we discussed this like a month or so ago when we were originally like designing this, that he was actually contacted by either like some sort of surviving Jedi or like a like a Force ghost,
Okay.
which is what brought him into contact with a more experienced Force user in the awe-inspiring personage of Bosmo,
Yeah, that's me.
and also led to Lan obtaining a lightsaber. He didn't build it; it's one that he found.
Pulled it out of a
Interesting.
corpse's hands.
Well, I mean, there's got to be some lying around.
Oh, without a doubt. I'm
A
sure.
lot of dead Jedi.
Exactly. There's so many of them just floating around.
He got it at a flea market, which in this context is a market run by giant fleas.
Yeah, exactly.
That sounded about right.
All
I
of
Can't believe
Bosmo's
that was
cousins.
never a Futurama gag.
Well, they did giant worms instead.
Yeah, I think flea market was too much low-hanging fruit for them.
Now, yeah, so that was certainly could still do that. I don't know if Bosmo is in a position to be your teacher, though.
Well, I
is
think
he?
that would have been sort of the disappointment inherent in.
Bosmo, he was like 6 when Order 66 came down, so
He just kind of shrugs helplessly.
his memories of the
Use the
Jedi
Force.
of the Jedi Code and the Jedi Order are, those of a 6-year-old. He called lightsabers laser sticks for years. And then he started calling them death sticks because he heard people using that term, and he figured,
Nice.
they cause death.
I mean, if you guys want to keep that intact, you certainly can. It's really up to you guys whether you want to have.
Well, that had just been my thinking at the time when we didn't really know what sort of setup we were going to have.
True. Well,
Yeah.
we could always upgrade the scholar into a Jedi Master.
Well,
Completely doable.
Yeah, I don't want to throw all your plans off.
Yeah.
I don't have any, don't worry.
You could always just, bring in Liam Neeson as a Force ghost at some point to just teach all of us.
No, you'll have ample learning opportunity in the adventure itself, I believe.
I was going to say, and then one of us can get taken, and, well, it goes from there.
One of you can become a Force ghost if you want.
The weird part is that it ended up being Wyatt.
Yeah.
I don't understand how this works.
We had a long talk with Smug about Force Ghosts earlier when we were still planning this.
That was a good talk.
It sure was.
I like the idea. That was pretty funny.
Well, we'll see if Farrell ever shows up.
If he does, we will make an exception for that. All right, so the original plan may not work so well. Do you still want to go with that, though, or do you want to try to rework it?
Well, Bosmo isn't, he wouldn't try to convince anyone that he was a Jedi. So,
Otherwise, what would have been Bosmo's in with the group is what I was wondering. Because I had seen it because I like trying to sort of plant connections for everybody. Because I was figuring, with Wyatt, there was sort of an obvious sort of link in with the rebellion, so made Lan a rebel pilot, and then do the Force thing and sort of have the Force connection to whatever Jedi guys are around. So, I mean, I don't know what Bosmo's connection to the group is otherwise.
Well, we're all working with this Jedi scholar, right?
Yeah.
And the Jedi scholar has been looking for people with Jedi stuff. Bosmo does know stuff about Jedi code and stuff that a scholar wouldn't know, but there's also a lot that he doesn't know that a scholar would.
Right.
Yeah, and I would imagine that the Jedi Master that was teaching Bosmo, did that Master die getting Bosmo to safety?
Yeah, Bosmo's been pretty much on his own since Order 66. getting by with his few Jedi tricks.
And eventually found his way into the rebellion itself, probably after hearing about it.
Yeah, I mean, it would make sense for him because the alternative is super Sithy.
I don't understand that joke. All right, so that'll work to an extent. I mean, I guess just the whole rebellion thing started up. People getting swept up in it, the downtrodden, those whose lives have been torn apart, smugglers, hackers, and the like, all just kind of finding their way together. How do Wyatt and McRuff connect?
OTP.
What's
Well-
your backstory?
OTP indeed. But the idea that immediately popped into my head when I heard about Muck's sort of whole setup was that, Wyatt loves big risks. He loves taking them. And he figures probably that having a super cool hacker man is bound to lead to some kind of adventures and possibly profit. So, Wyatt would probably have tried to get in good with Muck, maybe even, just offered him a job on his ship that, it at least gives him a place to sleep. And possibly daily walkies.
Boo.
Tummy rub.
This is grading. You guys are spacists again.
He helped him by getting the right kind of shampoo after he spent too long in the flea market.
After we pull the big bank heist, I'm out of this game. But yeah, that sounds about right.
All right. And we can always come back on this and change it up a bit later once we've got a little more of an idea on what we're doing.
All right.
So the gist, anyway, is that the scholar has taken the people learning from her and helping her to recover various artifacts that are now scattered across ruins right across the Empire and the galaxy itself, want to get her back for obvious reasons. Because she's a friend, for one. Maybe. Who knows? It's up to you guys. So Wyatt, of course, has a ship.
Yeah.
And
I should immediately point out that the friction between Wyatt and Lan's relationship will be that Wyatt has a ship and he's like really boastful about it, but he doesn't have any goddamn idea how to fly it. I mean, he can get it in the air and he can move it, but he's not a very good pilot.
That's depressing.
I hope he's like really a fan of like using metaphors or whatever to describe like how an ace pilot would do, but he's just not actually good at it.
No, he's a terrible pilot.
He's like, never tell me the odds, and then it doesn't matter because he couldn't even do the simplest thing. Never tell me the odds of like docking the ship.
The odds of successfully launching your ship on autopilot are 100 to 100. Never tell me the odds.
He's actually got
Ship
the
explodes
parking. He's actually got the
on launch.
parking brake on the whole time.
nice. Keeps forgetting to detach the anchor.
But yeah, and Lan probably knows this because they work together at the rebellion.
So it's not their first rodeo. They've been on some missions before.
How bad are we talking?
Like pilot. Well, I mean, he's
Like, what's
He
your
has
dice
no-
pool?
he has no skill in it, so it's just all greens.
Okay.
But his it's agility, so he does have a higher agility, so it's 3 green.
Right. Okay. So not like
No, he's not hopeless, but
He just pilots based on pure reaction.
that's pretty much it. Yeah.
He's hopeful.
this seems right.
All right, so they needed a ship. Wyatt needs a pilot. And McRuff wants to go for a walk.
Not the after dinner kind.
There might be a little more to it than that, but I would guess that McRuff is a member of Wyatt's crew.
Yeah.
That's the kind of relationship you guys want to have.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Just
I've
want to
even
point
got
out.
a trucker's hat with the name of the ship on the front.
I guess it's the Decade Turtle now.
No, the vote is clearly 60% for Bicentennial Bantha.
Oh, do we actually have a straw poll?
Yeah, I put one up.
Oh God, what was it? What was their Bantha's name? Just make the ship that.
Burabantha was the name of the Bantha.
Burabantha, yeah, that's the ship's name, the Burabantha. Come on.
It's got the Bicentennial Bantha. It's gotta
Yeah,
have.
it's a call. It's a clear call out.
But what if Steve really likes the name Leatherback?
I don't. I was being completely
It's his ship.
Yeah. God damn, you're starting up a straw poll, trying to force a name on him.
Well, I was just doing it as a joke, but you can choose the
Nope.
name if you want.
Okay, then I will choose the straw poll name.
I even put an extra option in the straw poll: the crime doer.
The crime doer?
The crime doer.
Wow. I
It's
love
named
it.
after all those cool crimes that we obviously do.
No one's voted for the crime doer, though, sadly.
Oh,
Aw.
All right. It is now renamed to the Bicentennial Bantha by public opinion.
nice.
Congratulations, viewers. You've had a direct outcome. Not you YouTube viewers, though.
Sorry,
You can all
folks.
burn in hell.
This is for the live viewers
Twitch.tv/caffeinated smug.
on that channel. Yes, that will be in the description as ever.
Indeed. All right. So Mike is here as well. He's playing Roll Cage. Why don't you tell us a little bit about Roll Cage?
Safety is clearly very important to him.
I
Well-
like to race, but I also like to be safe.
Driving at the prescripted speed limit is my definition of exciting. Okay. So Rail also grew up on Nar Shaddaa. He, in fact, actually kind of grew up with Wyatt. They were childhood friends and wound up going down different paths slightly, where Wyatt got into crime and smuggling and all that other shady business. Rail actually got involved in law enforcement. He is a so he is part of Nar Shaddaa's regional planetary government, essentially, or what passes for it, since even Nar Shaddaa is mostly run by
So
criminals.
the Huts? You work
Good
for the
question.
Huts?
Do I work for the Huts? Are they
don't know,
the
do you?
official government on Nar Shaddaa, or just the
Yes.
shadow
Oh,
government?
yeah.
Okay.
They own
So,
the
yeah.
planet.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
main city is called like Hutta or something.
Oh, that's right. Now how to.
No, Hut
So
is
yeah.
the planet it's in orbit around. God damn.
You're the planet. It's in orbit around. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
That was hurtful.
I'm sorry. Anyway, Mike,
So yes,
please continue.
He does work for the Huts, and his job essentially is to track down fugitives from the law, or whatever the Huts decide the law is. Though he's very clear to specify that he is not a bounty hunter, since he sees himself as working for a government and is not a freelancer. He tends to get results. He has a strange habit of always bringing back his fugitives alive, and he's known to be somewhat eccentric. He carries around the standard material for somebody of his profession, but he also has a weird sword that he says was a family heirloom, and just somehow managed to self-teach himself how to use it by just behaving naturally and doing what seems to make sense. He's actually in the process of hunting down Wyatt, since he's long been on the run, essentially, from Nar Shaddaa and from things in general, and he's finally got some time himself to try and track down his old friend and convince him to give up his smuggling ways, or face the music.
So you're telling us he was the Star Wars kid?
I like how I knew none of that before 20 minutes ago.
Did I lose you?
What? No.
Did you? Can you not hear us, Mike?
Or did you?
Mike.
Mike!
Mike.
Mike,
Mike.
We need a hunt for Mike.
Mike.
Mike has vanished.
Yep, and he disconnects. Oh, he's reconnecting.
No, well,
Well,
is he though?
Okay.
back?
Okay, I can hear you guys again now. I'm not
Yeah,
What happened?
Can you?
happened there.
What did you do?
I have no idea.
It
Yeah.
happened to him on every other voice client.
that's true. He
That's
used
true.
the Force.
No doubt.
Apparently.
All right.
So what did I?
Well,
I just said
you-
that
Yeah, go ahead.
20 minutes ago I had no idea that any of that was true.
Which parts?
All of it.
Tonight.
He didn't discuss any of that with me.
What? He's just totally making decisions for your character.
He did. But that's okay, because I'm fine with all of them, but I have it in question.
Hey!
If Mike can still hear us, I don't know.
Smug told me that you suggested we grow up together.
Well,
Well,
that's my question.
What is this?
Everything's
What is
falling
this double
apart now.
play here?
I do have a question. My question is, did we dig hole together?
Did you what together?
I mean, it sounded like
it did
Well,
sound a little like Dick
Uh,
Well,
all I'm
Did
gonna
we?
say is when Rail brings back, a perp all beaten up and to hell and back, he always says he was justified.
Look, all I know is the two of you apparently dick holes together.
I didn't hear
Oh.
that.
Wow.
I heard Dick hole.
Well, I
Well-
posted a question on Twitter asking whether or not you digged coal together, so we'll find out what the people think.
That was exactly the question. Yeah.
I
That was
also heard Dick Hold as well.
You know, some people
was it like
just call it the
ducking?
dash.
Or-
Well, all about docking.
So is
Well-
one of them like really thin?
Aw.
Moving along.
But no, this now adds to the tension. It is now a love triangle.
It is.
Wait, between them and the hole?
No, McGruff.
No, it's real
Oh, okay, all right. So we've established the backstory here that the two of you grew up together, apparently digging coal,
Space coal.
space coal.
In the coal mines.
If that's what you
no.
guys
Where
are
else would
okay
you dig
with.
it?
I mean,
Obviously in
In-
the coal mine.
feel
On
free to
asteroids?
discuss this between yourselves.
No. I was just making a justified joke. No. There's no coal on Nar Shaddaa. It's a freaking city planet.
Maybe they bring in coal just to make people dig it. A really bad punishment.
Resource asteroids. No, Mike is right about that. But it would still be a
That's
mine.
true. That is true.
Why would it be coal though? Who knows? Do you know anything about coal in the expanded universe? If so, leave a comment. Leave a comment below.
Ash is pointing out that you guys could just dig carbonite together.
That's okay. Yeah. Ash is the smart one here. So
Isn't it? a
So
gas?
basically, under Wyatt's hat, he's got. Does he have the Walton Goggins hairline?
I
Well,
think
he does now.
Just like an 8 head.
It's beneath the hat. You just can't see it.
Yeah, that's why he's got the hat on.
I was just
They
going to
cover
do a
the back.
Western accent now, but do I have to do a Walton Goggins like Bible thumper
Yeah,
accent? now?
you gotta be that slight Kentucky accent.
Oh God, that's going to be hard to do.
That's why he wears the hat, though, is because he wants to hide the fact that he's been balding since he was 13.
It was justified.
Well, I'm just a simple country human.
Love it. Such a good show. If people have not watched Justified, you should do that.
Okay.
All right, so that's all your characters. So, what? Well, unless there's anything else you guys want to, any other connections you guys might want to set up, we could probably get started. It doesn't sound like there is.
No,
Yeah.
I think we're
No,
good.
we're good.
All right, now do we want to?
But we really feel like there's an empty space where there should have been some sort of, I don't know, probably force-using sniper.
some kind of sniper with one eye,
Hooded.
hooded, one-armed
Mm-hmm.
individual. Yeah, Farrell has not joined us for this one. He may come in later. We'll see. There is a spot open for him, but as I pointed out, I have to redo my overlay and that kind of
There's a feral-shaped hole in our hearts.
There is.
deep as
Otherwise,
a well.
we'll get his non-union Mexican equivalent.
Isn't that you?
Damn.
Yeah. Just keep in mind, Mike,
Yeah, the
without
jig is up.
Farrell here to be the butt of the jokes, it does.
Wait, are
move
we
around the
implying that Mike
circle.
was ever not?
Yeah, but now he's gonna get like a double
Yeah.
dose.
You gonna get it from both ends?
Oh.
Wow.
I'm also being told that Cole is in the extended universe. So
That's
Probably
just
a
a
Wikipedia
legend.
entry on it.
oh, it's just a legend, yeah.
And I tell you
Oh,
that the OTP poll is tied right now.
Between who?
Wyatt X McCruff and Wyatt X Bicentennial Bantha.
The ship.
No, it is referenced on Wikipedia. Coal was a mineral. It could be burnt in a furnace.
Wow.
Industrial level civilizations employed coal furnaces.
I'm so glad that they have that. It's a good poll, by the way.
This article is a stub. You can help by expanding on it.
All right, so on that note, we'll get started shortly. We can probably put a pause in here if you'd like.
All right, I'll put a station identification break. Until the next time, all the best.